Hello, welcome to another video. This will be another Boogie2988 reaction. GameStop won't be around forever is what it's called, and actually he might be right about that because I have heard rumors about that in the past about GameStop, so let's see what Boogie has to say about this.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube? Boogie2988 coming at you live again to the power of the internet. And let me ask you a very personal question. When was the last time you went into a Blockbuster? I mean a GameStop. Because Northwest Arkansas used to have 5 GameStops. A couple years back we were down to 3. Now we're currently down to 2. And I thought, you know, I should go to a GameStop for the first time since I picked up my Xbox Series X and document it for my YouTube channel, because I feel like these stores won't be around forever. And if you stick around in the video, I'll show you what their competition looks like, and you can understand why GameStop is not doing as well as it should be in Northwest Arkansas. I'll show you what a real game store looks like. Let's step into this GameStop and see what's going on. So of the two...
Yeah, I've been hearing these rumors about GameStop, and there isn't one in Maricopa, which is the town I live closest to. Not exactly in Maricopa, but I live in a neighborhood that's, I don't know, 5 miles out from the city. But there isn't a GameStop there, unfortunately, which is why I usually ask people to help me out when it comes to Final Fantasy Online stuff. Because the closest GameStop where I live is in a town called Chandler. I don't think I'm going to call that a city. It's not as big as Maricopa, and I know it's not as big as Phoenix. Been to Chandler once, so I know what I mean.
Stores we have left in Northwest Arkansas. This is what I presume to be the ritzier one, because it's in the nicer area of town. And it does have a fairly decent, you know, used video game section, with some new video games as part of it as well. Decent controller selection, as well as some used consoles. I was a little surprised to see all of the printer paper that has been used to create signs on the cheap. You'd think corporate would be doing something more like that, but they are eye-catching. I did think it was weird that this section's like half empty with just a few games. But they definitely made room for plenty of toys. I really like this Spawn figure, but I'm confused as to why they had it, because there's not like a Spawn movie or show out right now that I'm aware of. I was not surprised to see this Five Nights at Freddy's stuff, though. That makes a lot of sense, because I imagine a lot of parents are here at this mall with their kids, and this seems like something they would pick up as a, you know, impulse buy. Back to the video game section. A lot of headphones, a lot of controllers, not a lot of games. I mean, I guess this is reasonably stocked for a PlayStation section, and there are some used games as well. Then there was the new releases section, which, I mean, does go to show you there are still some good games getting stocked for physical collecting. There's also t-shirts, and I've never been interested in their t-shirts, but again, they don't fit me. But again, tons of collectibles, and a lot of the stuff is not licenses I'm even that particular familiar with. I'm not coming to a GameStop to get a hat. I'm not coming to GameStop to get shirts. I don't want a WWE wrestling figure. I want video games.
Yeah, that's what I don't get with GameStop. I don't know why they sell toys there when it's called GameStop, not Toy Stop.
And this place does still have a handful of games, but it is so surprising.
And this YouTube showcase.
So surprising just how many collectibles they have. But it is good to know that if I still need a controller, I can go in and pick up some Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! And Magic the Gathering cards at the same time as well. And, I mean, obviously they do have Xboxes and PlayStations in stock as well. And then, of course, my favorite section of any GameStop, this is where pop vinyls go to die. Every time I go into one of these stores, they have so many on clearance almost as if they're just trying to get rid of buy one, get one free, buy two, get one free, buy one, get three free. And they have some of the weirder, like, stuff as well. This League of Legends plastic toy was on clearance. I'm not particularly sure who's buying that. I understand why it's on clearance. Most of the stuff that's on clearance, I'm not sure who's picking this up. Even the clearance prices seem to be more expensive than what you would pay online or at Amazon. But at least, you know, if you're looking to make a deal, they'll make you a deal on this massive pop vinyl, I guess. Met the guy running the shop. Really nice to me. It was a fan of my old YouTube channel, my old videos, Francis and stuff back in the day. Thought that was awesome, but it gives you an idea of like why I don't go into the stores too much anymore. It's a lot of stuff that I'm not interested in. Really light on the games, really heavy on the merch. League of Legends, Five Nights at Freddy's, DC figures.
Another fun fact about me at GameStop is I don't have much use for GameStop these days because all my games are digital, so there's really no point in me going to GameStop unless, like I mentioned earlier in this reaction, if I need a Final Fantasy Game Time card, because they don't normally have that at Walmart. But they do have PlayStation cards at Walmart, and that's where I usually get PlayStation cards at nowadays.
Dragon Ball, just not for me. But maybe the other store has stuff more along the lines of what I'm into, so let's go check out the Fable store.
Something I didn't do.
I loved that this place had a playable Nintendo Switch kiosk, but then they were also really set up for PC gaming, whether you needed, you know, mice or keyboards or even laptops. They had a ton of this stuff ready for PC gaming, and I do feel like that's a smart choice. They also had a very large PlayStation section. This first section is about the size as you found at the other store. But then there's the PlayStation kiosk as well as, I mean, just twice the stuff, twice the games, twice the accessories as the other store. Of course, this place has to have its pop vinyls as well. They have their nice little graveyard for pop vinyls where they're always on clearance, including the Dragon Ball Z giant one. You can pick that one up here as well. The Nintendo Switch had a huge section though. I mean, Switch games don't take up a lot of space, so it was really nice to see a ton of games and a ton of accessories for it, especially considering it's pretty late in its life cycle. I also really like that golden controller. The Xbox had a good setup too, and I didn't want to get too close because they were unboxing stuff over here, and I just didn't want to get in their way and be obnoxious, but the Switch also had its own little display and kiosk, and you can pick up the Switch Lite and the OLED Switch and the stuff. And of course, this place had its toys and its clearance toys as well. And I felt like some of the toys that were here I was a little more interested in. A little bit of anime stuff, a little bit of Dragon Ball Z, but also some of the licenses I'm slightly more familiar with, even though I wouldn't be crazy about it. I did like the Boglins until I checked the price on clearance. That's still $35. But the clearance section had some interesting stuff. Nothing I was going to jump for. I often wonder why these places don't sell more board games. There's always like one or two floating around, but I feel like with bookstores closing down and game stores not always carrying the...
Bookstores are closing down? I actually did not know about that. Okay, that's good to know.
Types of things, I feel like they should. Also, who's picking up these Miss Marvel bands for $113?
I mean, who buys a book at a store anymore? Oh my god.
Just let me tell y'all, if you haven't gone into a GameStop in a while, the people working there are just happy and nice these days. I don't know what it is. They want to talk about stuff. They want to chew your ear off. I think they want to. I think they want to sell product. Obviously, memberships and all the other help sell stuff. But they just seem like to be some of the nicest people. Damn, maybe it's not always like that everywhere, but Northwest Arkansas, y'all doing something right. So you probably don't have these outside of Arkansas, but we are lucky enough to have this local chain called Vintage Stock. Music, movies, videos, games, and more. Not so much on the music anymore, but that gives you an idea how long they've been around.
Yeah, walking into the store, I regret making fun of the music part because they have a huge music section. I'm not sure who's still collecting CDs.
Okay, I looked away for a moment, but I think he's in FYE now. I know that store as well.
But when it comes to the vinyls, I know there's tons of collectors out there. And I don't know if these are good prices or bad prices or not, but the DVD section is also massive. Tons of Blu-rays, tons of boxed sets. I mean, I know people are into VHS tapes these days, and I was expecting to see some of those, but I guess people are also collecting DVDs because they had 4 or 5.
Fun fact about VHS tapes. My uncle gave me a few, like a couple months ago, of some South Park seasons, but I don't have VHS thing to use it for, at least not yet. So if I ever use those in the future, Michael needs to get me that.
5 rows of DVDs, including kids sections, adult sections, modern movies, just huge stuff. And you want to talk about a pop vinyl graveyard? They have a little bit of everything. If you're looking to collect these things, I feel like this might be the place to come for sure. Because number one, they have a lot priced to move. But they have them hidden kind of everywhere. Amongst all of these, what are these Skylander pieces? And also there's these anime figures. A little bit of trading card supplies as well. The trading card section used to be so much bigger here. Used to be able to get storage boxes and stuff. I loved that, but can't really do that anymore. But they also have a toy section, but less so than GameStop in a lot of ways. And that used to be one of their biggest claims to fame, is that they would buy your old toys and sell them to other people who would love them. And of course, their comic section used to be way bigger, but it's nice that they still have a comic section.
Supergirl.
And I remember when older comics went for just a ridiculous amount of money. But most of these were priced very reasonably, $2.99, $3.99. I know you can read all of this stuff online.
Because you're right about that, you can read all that stuff online too. But no, let's go to the Supergirl comics. I didn't think there was like Supergirl specific comics, though. That I didn't know that until I saw that in this video.
Paperbacks, more pop vinyl.
So I know a good bit about Supergirl. Remember Supergirl from the Justice League animated shows, and then the CW show Supergirl as well. So.
And more figures. Some of your childhood is definitely hanging in this store, though. They are definitely nostalgia bait. If there's something you loved, it's still here. And getting into the video game section, tons of controllers for you to use, some more DVDs and stuff like that. But then we're getting into PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4. It's all here. That whole section there is video games. But I had to pop in and take a look at the trading card section. They have up-to-date trading card packs, and they're all pretty much at retail. You're not going to get much of a discount here if you choose to buy them here, but I feel like they're mostly impulse buys. The Pokemon section's kind of nice as well. So back to the video games. They do have some of the more modern stuff, including PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X. All of that is available as well.
Good to know that FYE has Xbox One games. I'm probably going to go digital on when I get that system as well, but it's cool to know that they're still selling Xbox One games in stores. Don't know about GameStop, but FYE seems to be doing it still.
Well, but it's nice to see some of the older game systems available. You'll see in a second there's even like Game Boy Advance games, which I just think is so cool. Or these DS games. I think these are DS games. It's been a while since I played one. And sure, they do have the collectibles and junk as well.
It's another system I'm trying to get. Also, hold on, go back real quick.
Since I played one. And sure, they do have the...
Apex Legends is on disc? I didn't know that. Oh, that's interesting to know.
Collectibles and junk as well. And a lot of these used games, you'll see, some of them are true junk. Like there are Skylanders and old sports titles. That is not junk though. That's Wind Waker for GameCube. That's a collector's piece for sure. They even have Wii Fit boards, which, you know, you just can't get rid of. But I think it's kind of cool that they bought them from people. At least they're sitting here somewhere in case somebody wants one for $10. And of course, they've got to have the anime section. Used systems, Xbox Series X, PlayStation 5, even, is that an old NES or SNES Advantage up there? Oh, and look at all these new comic books they have that need to get stocked. I thought that was really cool.
They have that. Where the hell are the Nintendo 64s?
And if you pick up some old retro games, they have the Retron systems. I don't know if these are any good, but I don't know if play old cartridges.
And that has been in stock. And I'll be honest with you, I haven't been in there in a little while. But I'm still impressed. But boy, they have really upped their DVD game. I couldn't believe how much it was music and DVDs. Maybe I just walked past that all the time because it's not something I collect or am interested in. The video game section, not as big as I remember. Trading card section, definitely smaller, but still nice to have that option in town, and there's plenty of nostalgia there for old heads like us. So, as always, guys, hope you enjoyed the tour of my little town. More up and getting out and doing stuff.
See more of Arkansas, like I
But as
keep
always,
saying in these reactions.
Thanks for watching. I love you very much. And I'll speak with you when I get home. But for now, I'm gonna go play Diablo.
Of course, you're gonna play Diablo. That was an interesting reaction. So the second story he showcased was not FYE. I think some Arkansas-based place, but like I keep saying in these reactions, so it's cool that he's pretty much touring Fayetteville, Arkansas. So if I ever visit there, I'll definitely visit a few key places that I've seen in Boogie's recent videos. That lake he visited, the two stores he just showed in this video. A couple other places too. Can't exactly remember exactly what at the moment, but if I ever do visit this city that Boogie is in, I'll rewatch these videos. You know, check these stories out. But no, the second store he visited, I kind of wish there was a store like that in Maricopa, because I could definitely get a used Xbox One at a fair price. And Nintendo Switch as well. So those are the two main game systems I want, aside from what I already have, which is PlayStation, so, or PS4. But yeah, PS5, I'm going to wait till the price goes down a little bit on that. And then I'll probably get that in like a year or two. So, anyways, that's the end of this reaction. Stay tuned for the next one. Latest Lounge is next, and then I'll be doing a McJugger Nugget short right after. There's other reactions I have to do as well, but I'm just starting with that for now.